You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
This is exactly how to build the Chicago Bears if in fact they do draft Caleb Williams. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So, Bears fans, there has been a whole lot of smoke surrounding Caleb Williams to the Chicago Bears. And I know even though smoke screens are not always accurate, this can very well just be driving up that price for the #1 overall pick for a possible trade down for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears. But a lot of draft analysts and people around the National Football League think that Caleb Williams will be going to the Chicago Bears with the #1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. So if that's the case, this is the exact format I would use to build around Caleb Williams in Chicago. And I do want to make it quite clear right here on today's episode of Keek on the Mic. Today's video doesn't mean I'm out on quarterback Justin Fields. To me, the Chicago Bears and Ryan Poles are in a very interesting situation. And to me, it's a win-win situation because I feel like either way or either route that you go or take with Justin Fields or Caleb Williams, the Chicago Bears will have a very bright future within this organization. So the first thing I would do, Bears fans, to build around quarterback Caleb Williams is make sure the coaching staff is perfect, which Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus have done an excellent job of building the offensive coaching staff for the Chicago Bears. This is probably the best offensive coaching staff that we have seen or even had in a very long time. Obviously, we still have to see the results on the football field and see if it translates on the football field. But all of these coaches, starting off with Shane Waldron, are guys that are true teachers of the game. These are guys that are going to put our players in the best situation to succeed. And personally, this would be the perfect situation for Caleb Williams to come into as the #1 overall pick for the Chicago Bears. I feel like they would groom Caleb Williams very nicely. I think they'll have him ready to play from day one and play at a high level. I wish they would have done this for Justin Fields, but it's good that they are trying their best to build a good offensive staff for either Caleb Williams or Justin Fields. But for the purpose of this video, I think it's the perfect offensive staff for a guy like Caleb Williams. The second thing I would do, Bears fans, to build around quarterback Caleb Williams is sign edge rusher Brian Burns. Obviously, if you trade away Justin Fields, there's a lot of people out there saying, well, if we keep quarterback Justin Fields, you're going to have to pay him that extension in 2 more years. So their thinking is that you wouldn't have as much money on the books to possibly go out there and sign some big time free agents. Basically, your window to sign these big free agents will close up because you have to pay your quarterback and Justin Fields, which to me, there's arguments that can go both ways when you talk about financial sides of keeping quarterback Justin Fields. But when we're looking at Caleb Williams, obviously he would be on a rookie deal. So the window to sign big time free agents like Brian Burns would be much bigger, obviously, when you look at the financial side of things. So going to get a guy like Brian Burns to pair him up with Montez Sweat and make the Chicago Bears defensive line even scarier next season would be huge for a guy like Caleb Williams, because obviously guys like Brian Burns and Montez Sweat will get after the quarterback, maybe cause some turnovers, give Caleb Williams shorter fields. Obviously, you have to understand that this is a team sport. It's not one man's job to carry a franchise, even though a lot of people think that Caleb Williams is going to come in here and just absolutely carry the franchise. He is going to need help. He's going to need help from his teammates, even on the defense side of the football. So I think adding a guy like Brian Burns would be massive for Caleb Williams and especially for the Chicago Bears defense. The third thing I would do, Bears fans, to build around quarterback Caleb Williams is go out and sign veteran wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. And the only reason why I am doing this is because since you are going to pick Caleb Williams at the #1 overall spot in the 2024 NFL Draft, that means you would need to go out and get him another weapon to pair with wide receiver DJ Moore. Obviously, a lot of people say, hey, why don't you just take Rome Odunze at #9 overall, which is definitely an option. But to me, I think it would be really cool to splurge a little bit on a big-time weapon like Michael Pittman Jr. and give him a solid outside option to throw to. Obviously, you can move DJ Moore into the slot position, which would be absolutely dynamic for the Chicago Bears offense. When you look at a guy like Michael Pittman Jr., he's 26 years old, stands at 6'4", 223 pounds. He's a perfect complement, once again, to wide receiver DJ Moore. He's big, strong, fast. He's an outstanding possession receiver that can win those 50-50 balls on the outside. When you look at last season's stats for Michael Pittman Jr., he was absolutely excellent for the Colts. He had 109 catches for over 1,100 yards and 4 touchdowns. This would be a perfect option for a brand new quarterback like Caleb Williams. Once again, you add Michael Pittman Jr., you have DJ Moore, obviously you have Tyler Scott coming back, you still have Cole Kmet. That would be an ideal set of weapons for quarterback Caleb Williams coming into Chicago. Bears fans, the fourth thing I would do to build around quarterback Caleb Williams is either draft tight end Brock Bowers or left tackle Olu Fushu at the number 9 overall spot. Obviously, you went out and got wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. in free agency to pair with DJ Moore and give Caleb Williams another solid weapon. But at that number 9 overall spot, it doesn't matter who is there. If it's Brock Bowers is there, take him. If Olu Fushu is there, take him. If they're both there, flip a coin and just see which one you need more. But personally, I think I would lean towards taking tight end Brock Bowers. Obviously, when you look at Shane Waldron's offense, he loves using those 2 tight end sets. Once again, you give Caleb Williams yet another weapon to go to. And then if you draft a guy like tight end Brock Bowers, you look at what Caleb Williams has to work with. He would then have DJ Moore, Michael Pittman Jr., Cole Kmet, Brock Bowers, and Tyler Scott. So I feel like that would be more than enough to really help Caleb Williams' first season in Chicago. The fifth and final thing I would do to build around Caleb Williams in his first season in Chicago is either draft or sign a center. And this is going to be crucial, Bears fans. Once again, I've said it again here on the podcast, and I'll repeat it until I'm blue in the face. We cannot go into next season. Rather, you keep Justin Fields or draft Caleb Williams. We cannot go into next season neglecting the center position and have Lucas Patrick as your starting center on this offensive line. We need a major upgrade on this offensive line. So rather you go out and get a guy like Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon, Cedric Van Pran out of Georgia, or even sign a free agent like Connor Williams, or even do both to have major reassurance at the center position. That's exactly what Ryan Poles and Chicago Bears need to do. If you want to bring in a new quarterback like Caleb Williams here in Chicago, if you want him to be successful, you have to make sure that interior of the offensive line is squared away, especially when you look at the center position. If you leave Lucas Patrick there, if you neglect the center position once again, Caleb Williams is going to have a tough time in his first season as a Chicago Bear. So overall, Bears fans, those are the 5 things I would do to build around quarterback Caleb Williams if Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears do in fact pick him at the number 1 overall spot in the 2024 NFL draft. Once again, I want to make it very clear that this video does not indicate that I want Justin Fields gone. I would still be very happy if the Chicago Bears kept Justin Fields and continued to build around him. There's still a lot of amazing things I feel like Justin Fields can do within this franchise. And obviously, if you trade back and get massive amount of draft capitals, maybe multiple first-round picks, and Marvin Harrison Jr., I think that would also be a very solid scenario for Ryan Poles and Chicago Bears. So once again, Bears fans, this is a good time to be a Bears fan. I feel like this is going to be a win-win for the Chicago Bears because either direction you go in, rather you keep Justin Fields and build around him and collect the multiple first-round picks and add Marvin Harrison Jr., or if you go out and pick Caleb Williams at the number 1 overall spot in the 2024 NFL draft, I think the Chicago Bears will still be in a very good direction, and I still think ambitions either way could still be playoffs as soon as next year for this football team. So Bears fans, before I let you guys go, how do you guys feel about my plan to build around quarterback Caleb Williams if in fact Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears do in fact take Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft? Let me know down below in the comment section. But all in all, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. Better than that, be back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You've been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.